Okay, looks like it's 11 o'clock. Let's get rolling. First of all, a big welcome from everybody here in the Toyota Portland region. My name is Ron Rinnan. We've got the entire sales training team with you here today, and today's topic is a good one. It's all about Engage. But before I do or introduce Edgar here, I just first of all want to take a pause. We're into the month of May, and I want to be sure to thank all the dealer associates out there for all your efforts to persevere through not only the month of April. Looks like we've turned the corner. Most of you are beginning to open the doors, and we certainly feel like May is going to be a much better month. And we've got the inventory, we've got the incentives, and we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, now let's talk about Engage. What is Engage? Well, is it our primary educational platform? Yes, it is. Is it your one-stop shopping for all things product knowledge? Yes, it is. But I also want you to look at it as your window into the world. And by that I mean most of your customers and all of us are talking to, they've been on Toyota.com. In many instances, they've Googled all the Toyota products. They are armed with a lot of information. And what this Engage resource provides to you, and we're going to go into it in a lot more detail here in a minute, it allows you to look through the same lens that they're looking through, and in many cases, you can provide even more information, and more importantly, you can come back and converse with them in almost in a way, be one step ahead of them, and that is the key. So it's a great resource, and I think without any further ado, I'm going to turn this over to our resident subject matter expert on Engage, Mr. Edgar Delgadillo. Take it away, Edgar.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ron Rinnan, for that introduction, and I want to thank all of you for tuning in to our second series here at webinars, kicking it off with Engage. Hope all of you are staying safe and sound out there wherever you may be, and hopefully this webinar gets you a little bit more, familiar with not only the Engage website but the Engage app as well. So jumping right in here, want to introduce the team here. So the sales training team, you already heard Ron Rinnan talk here at the beginning. Our regional sales manager, Cynthia Johnson, is also on the call. Steve Dahlberg, many of you might know him as Stevie D. David Yingling, and myself, Edgar Delgadillo. We are your VPTS team for the Portland region, here to help. If you have any questions regarding this webinar or any other product-related questions as well, please feel free to contact us here. Here's our phone numbers and our emails. Before we get started in the presentation, just some quick housekeeping items. Please mute your Microsoft app and phone for optimal quality. Throughout the presentation, please type all questions in the Q&A chat area, followed by your name and dealership name. Questions will be answered by the team at the end of the session. Just want to point out, if you have any questions during the presentation, you don't necessarily have to wait until the end to ask them. We'll be keeping record of them to make sure they get answered at the end, so feel free to plug in those questions during the presentation. And this meeting is an overview of Toyota's Engage website and app. And I just want to throw out here, this webinar is not eligible for ILT credit. So what's today's agenda look like? We're going to begin with just talking about getting started regarding the Engage app and website. Then we're going to jump over to the actual Engage website itself and kind of navigate through that, see what that looks like. I will be highlighting the new search bar function that is now available on the Engage website. And then we're going to do a few Engage scenarios, just kind of give you some real-world, examples of maybe some questions that you'll get asked by your customers. And then from there, we'll jump back to PowerPoint, and we'll do a navigation of the app itself. And I will be highlighting the new VIN scan feature or function that you can find on the app. And then we'll finish it off with some Q&A at the end. All right, so getting started. So first and foremost, the first thing we got to do is download the app. It's called the Toyota Engage app. You can download it on Google Play and the App Store. And it's a free download, so you don't have to worry about any cost to you or your dealership. And then I just want to talk about just how do you get access to the full suite app and website. Keep in mind that you will need a dealer daily login to be able to access all the functions and that both the website and the app have to offer. If you do not have a Dealer Daily login, talk to your manager or your Dealer Daily administrator so they can help set you up. And keep in mind that having a SPIN does not mean that you have access to Dealer Daily. Those are two separate two separate programs there, or two separate things. So I just want to keep that in mind there. So I just want to talk a little bit of what's the website versus the app. What are the major differences here? So the website, being a website is more robust, so it'll have a lot more information for you to be able to take a look at, and it also offers more downloadable content, especially when you gotta share specific websites, or excuse me, articles or information with your customers. And really, it's the best way for you to study our Toyota product when you have some time. Just get familiar with what we have to offer or what's going on in the industry. And the app is, being an app is more mobile, so it's best used when you're on the lot with the customer, when they have a question on the particular vehicle they're looking at in front of them. You can, pull out the app and, get the information they need. And really, the app is designed for current model year information. So with that, we're going to exit out of the deck here. I'm going to jump over to the website, so just please stay tuned here. Let's see here. Just one second. And at this point, you all should be able to see the live Engage website itself. When you first log into it here using your Dealer Daily website or login, you'll be brought to the home page. And on the home page, there's some great information that you can take a look at, and is uploaded on a weekly basis. Articles, that are great for you to be able to study. And again, like I said, to be able to see what's going on in the industry and in our company. If you scroll down, you'll see the vehicle spotlight area. This is great for, for you to be able to save maybe the 4 vehicles that you view the most. That way you have easy access to them. And if you click on the edit vehicles here at the top, you can actually change these 4 vehicles as need be. And if you keep scrolling down, you'll find some industry news that you can definitely keep up with industry, and just, information that, you might not need now, but it's great to know and just kind of keep up with. So with that, you will notice that there are some main tabs here. We're going to go through these, maybe not to the full extent of each one, but definitely give you an idea what all of these have to offer, beginning with the Vehicles tab. So once you hover over the Vehicles tab, you'll get our vehicle lineup that'll be accessible right under. So cars, minivans, cars, crossovers and SUVs, trucks, TCUV. We won't go into TCUV, but I do want to let you know that if you find yourself needing that 160-point inspection sheet, this is a great place for you to be able to download that. And of course, if you need information on non-production vehicles as well, you can jump in here and see what we have to offer for those. But for this presentation, we're going to be using the 2020 Camry. So you see the 2020 Camry icon here. Go ahead and click on that. And I say 2020 Camry because it'll automatically, filter into the current year. However, if you need to go back to another year of a Camry, you can just click on this red arrow, and you can click on, years back. Just want to let you know on that. So you'll get redirected to the Features and Specs page. The Features and Specs page is a great page for you to see what the vehicle has to offer. You can change the trim level here as need be. And you can expand features by clicking on the red plus symbol here. And once you do that, you can see what's standard, what's optional, and what's not included on that trim level. And if you see this blue plus symbol here that says compare trim, you can open that up and compare 2 different Camry trim levels to see, how they stack up to each other. So in this case, we're looking at the LE and the L. Moving on over to the Trims, Colors, Options, and Packages tab, or we can call these sub-tabs, if you will. So it'll automatically show you all trim levels, but you can deselect all or select all, or select just a few as you please. And this will show you just some key features and trim stories of the vehicle, as well as their starting MSRP price. If you keep scrolling to the bottom, you'll see which available exterior and interior color options are included on that trim level. You can change trim levels here at the top. And you'll see these will change as as you click on the different trim levels. Down at the bottom, you'll notice any factory options or extra packages that are available on that specific vehicle and trim level as well. Scrolling back up to the top here, Jumping over to the trim walk sub-tab here. So this is similar to what you'd find on the features and specs page. The biggest difference is, if you notice on the right, we're comparing the L and the LE. You get your MSRP price, but this really shows you what benefits or extra added benefits you're going to receive by jumping from L to the LE. So you notice that it has adds to the L. So this is really a great page for, maybe a customer is, determining, maybe buying one or the other. This is where you can kind of show them, hey, this is what the L will have that the that the LE will have that the L will not. So that just kind of gives you a nice little side-by-side comparisons of the extra added value that you'd get. Moving on over to accessories. So accessories is where you can filter in by interior, exterior, and performance accessories. And really, this is just kind of where you can see what accessories are available for that vehicle, and it'll give you some great selling points to the right here as well. Competitive advantages. So this is where you can compare the vehicle you have chosen, in this case a 2020 Camry, to another OEM vehicle, in this case a 2020 Ford Fusion. You'll find some key advantages of both here directly at the bottom, some head-to-head information below that. And then if you go down to the bottom, you get some quick specs of each vehicle. You'll notice that there is a blue bubble to the left of some of the specs. That'll let you know that that vehicle has the advantage. Moving on up again here, the overview tab. This really just gives you it's almost kind of like a e-brochure in a way, but it just gives you some nice pictures, some at-a-glance information. Maybe, you have a customer that's coming in a few minutes. They have, they want to know a little bit more about the 2020 Camry. You can just kind of quickly look at these just to get caught up on some of the information, as well as some great awards that they have, that the Camry has. In this case, we can see that the Camry, 2020 Camry was named Best Midsize Car for the Money by U.S. News and World Report. This is great information for you to share with your customers. And then lastly here, we see the resources sub-tab. You click on this, and this is where you can just get, a bunch of other videos and reports, articles regarding the 2020 Camry, video head-to-head, know more, sell more, and my favorite, the customer-friendly articles. These are the ones that we encourage you all to share with your customers. These are meant, to be customer-facing, so feel free to share those. And then lastly here, the e-brochure. If a customer may be asking for an e-brochure or wants one printed out, you can just click on the e-brochure here, and then it'll automatically open up another tab that has the e-brochure. You can print or download and send it to your customer via email. So that's pretty cool function there. So that's pretty much what we have for the vehicles tab. At this point, we're going to move on to the hybrid tab here. So if you click on the hybrid tab, this is really where you want to go to just get caught up on all things hybrid. Maybe you don't have, too much experience with our hybrid technology. Maybe you're a new sales consultant. This is where you'd want to go to just kind of get caught up on our hybrid technology. You'll open up to the overview tab. You can also see what hybrid lineups we have to offer. Just insert the year, the model, and the trim, and you'll get some quick information on those vehicles. And then if you move over to the videos, this is really where, you'll get the greatest benefit under the hybrid tab. This is where you can, just kind of learn about hybrid and, what it does and how it works as well. And then again, you'll have your similar resources tab that is very similar to what you'd find in the vehicles tab. So under safety, there's quite a few sub-tabs in safety: applicability chart, Star Safety System, Toyota Safety Sense, GR Super Safety, blind spot monitor, BSM, and the Yaris Sedan Standard Low Speed PCS. These are all just great information, sub-tabs to learn about these separate systems. But for this presentation, we're going to focus on the applicability chart and the Toyota Safety Sense sub-tab. Beginning with the applicability chart here, if you click on this will just open up a new tab and show you a nice laid out applicability chart regarding Toyota and its vehicles, seeing which Toyota Safety Sense products are included in those vehicles, and if they're standard, et cetera, and with the model numbers as well. So it just kind of gives you a nice depiction of, what we have to offer on all our vehicles regarding safety. So if you exit out of this here, going back into the safety sub-tabs, we're going to click on Toyota Safety Sense. And again, maybe you want to learn a little bit more about Toyota Safety Sense, or you don't feel comfortable, talking to it yet, you'll open up to the overview tab. This is kind of gives you a quick overview of what Toyota Safety Sense has to offer. And then you go into the Toyota Safety Sense lineup, similar to what you'd see in the hybrid lineup sub-tab. Just kind of that way you can kind of see which vehicle, you can click on a vehicle, for example, 2020, we'll do Camry, and then we'll just pick a trim level, and it'll let us know right then and there what Toyota Safety Sense it has. Features, this is really where it gets more into the details and kind of explains to you what each separate feature regarding Toyota Safety Sense does and how it works. And then again, you have your videos sub-tab here where you can go and watch these and they give you some really nice depictions of how the systems work in a nice video format. And then again, like you've seen in the past here, the resources tab where you can get your more videos, head-to-heads, know more, sell more, customer friendlies, et cetera. Before we jump into, talking about the search engine feature, I do want to point out there's some other great links that you can click into in the top right of Engage website, and that is the Engage app. So this will redirect you to the Engage app. Engage Trivia, if you need to fill that out, and then your Engage Live. You can actually access the Connected Services registration portal from here, and then you'll have some other information regarding SmartPath as well. So at this point, I do want to get our team in here. We have some scenarios that we're going to share with you just to show you how intuitive the system is. So at this point, I want to bring in into the call Mr. Stevie D. Give us our first scenario here.
Hey, Edgar. Hey, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. If a customer had a question on capacity like curb weight on the 2020 Camry XLE, how would we go about finding that via Engage?
Awesome. So at this point, we're going to be using just to get the information as quickly as possible, we can use a search engine function here. So we're going to click into this and type in 2020 Camry curb weight. Okay. So you'll notice that it's quickly, it'll show you what that curb weight is, but since the customer is looking for the XSE, I believe, right? Curb weight, we can just, XLE, okay, so the XLE, we can click into the XLE, and then that'll repopulate with that number that, that the curb weight shows for the XLE Camry. And I believe we had another question, or another scenario here. Ms. CJ?
Hey, Edgar. So I heard that Toyota has really made some huge improvements on the 2020 Highlander as it relates to the MPG. Can you tell me what the MPG is on the 2020 Highlander?
Sure, great question. So all we got to do is take this off here, 2020 Highlander MPG. And again, just like that, we're going to get if you click over to the right, the EPA estimated MPG on the 2020 Highlander. And just like we did with the Camry scenario, we can change the trim level and just kind of see, in this case, it doesn't change, but we can kind of see what, the MPGs, how they differ regarding trim levels. Okay, Ms. Sheila, I think we had another scenario from you.
Yes, we do. Hi, Edgar. My husband is thinking about purchasing a 2020 Tundra. What is the bed depth on that?
Awesome, great question. So we're going to, again, utilize our search engine here, 2020 Tundra bed depth. Awesome. So just like that, it'll populate, what the bed depth for the 2020 Tundra is in inches. But not only that, we're also going to get the bed length and the bed width as well. And I believe we had one more scenario out there, Mr. Stevie D.
Yeah, Edgar, this is a great question. If a customer is looking at an FJ, which is a discontinued Toyota product, a newer late model Toyota, but is discontinued, if they wanted information from a sales consultant, how would the sales consultant go and find information on an FJ or any other late model Toyota?
Awesome, great question. Well, let's say your dealership, acquired an FJ on a lot. What you can do is, again, we're going to go back into our vehicles tab on the top left. We're going to go over to the non-production vehicles, and we can click on that FJ Cruiser icon there. And since it is a discontinued vehicle, you're not going to get the same amount of information as you would a 2020 model. But, you know, you can at least go in here and, you know, get a little bit caught up on the FJ Cruiser information, click on the e-brochure. You know, you can send this to the customer that's interested in that FJ Cruiser, or you can use it for your own study. So that's kind of a great way for you to share information of vehicles that are no longer in our production line. Okay, thank you all for those scenarios. At this point, I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and we're going to go back to the PowerPoint deck to talk about the Engage app and the VIN scanner. So just 1 second here. Okay. So I'll give it just a few seconds. At this point, you should all be seeing the Engage app and VIN scanner PowerPoint slide. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this here, and it'll show us kind of what the app looks like and the functionalities within the app itself. All right, so once you open up the app, you'll see it looks very similar to what you see in the Vehicles tab on the website, showing what vehicles we have on our lineup. If you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to find some other great links that you can click on: Toyota Engage Trivia, Safety, Audio and Media, GR Super Education, Toyota Engage, the Toyota Engage website, SmartPath, Toyota Engage Live, your Spin QR, and the VIN scan that we'll get here in just a second. Again, and you also have the search app function as well on the top, and you can just click on any question you might have, similar to what we just did with the scenarios. In this case, we're going to ask what the 2020 Camry MSRP is. Once you click on that, you'll automatically get that information populated. So for this example, we're going to jump into the 2020 Camry. Once you click on the Camry icon, you'll be brought to the overview page. I just want to let you know, if you do not log into the app with your Dealer Daily login, you'll only have access to the first 4 tabs, which is overview, MSRP, incentives, and videos. However, the minute you log in, you're going to get full access to all of the tabs you're seeing moving there on the top. So that's really the benefit of you being able to get that login. That way you have all the information you need. So moving back over to the Overview tab, once you click on that, you're going to get what's new, some key selling points on that vehicle, and awards that the vehicle has received. This is obviously great information for you to share with your customers. I also want to point out the Incentives tab. So the Incentives tab is based on your zip code. You can change the zip code there on the top right if you see change zip code. But this really just shows you what incentives are available for the vehicle you have chosen. And I also want to talk about videos. Maybe you have a question regarding Toyota safety. You can just go to the Videos tab, click on that Safety Show Details button there. And then maybe the customer has a question on Toyota Safety Sense, the pre-collision system. You can just click on that pre-collision system video, and you can actually share it with your customer directly, to their phone number or their email, whichever they prefer. And we all know we live in a time of digital, so that's awesome to be able to do that. So moving back down to the VIN scan feature, click on the VIN scan icon there, and then click on scan VIN. And all you got to do is open up your driver's side door, and you're going to find a barcode on that in the middle of that. I believe it's called the B pillar there. Click on that or scan the barcode, and it'll automatically generate the VIN number and give you the exact information that is available on that specific vehicle on your lot. So it'll give you overview information, exterior, interior, audio multimedia, safety and convenience, mechanical and performance, and other great miscellaneous information. Some things to keep in mind regarding the VIN scanner. So the VIN scanner will only work on new and in-stock units. We're calling it the -1 current and +1 rule. So the VIN scanner will only work on prior year model, current year model, and next year's model. So in this case, if we're talking about today, the VIN scan feature will be working for 2019, 2020, and 2021 model years. And then last thing to keep in know regarding the VIN scanner, vehicles will be pulled from the VIN scanner accessibility within 90 days of the vehicle being RDR'd. So once the vehicle has been sold, up to 90 days, it'll be pulled and no longer will be able to be scanned. So with that, before we get to the question and answers part of the presentation, I do want to say please follow us and subscribe to our Instagram page and our YouTube channel. The team's going to be doing all we can to, just keep, pushing videos into these platforms to get you information as quickly as possible regarding a new product or training. So I just want to throw that tidbit out. So at this point, we're going to move on to, I want to say thank you, first of all, for tuning in. And also, we want to jump over to some questions and answers.
So, hey, Edgar, not a lot of questions in the queue. If any of you are out there that have any questions about Engage, how to navigate Engage, please feel free to ask them in the Q&A. I've got a question here, Edgar. Does the Engage app have to be connected to Wi-Fi to work?
Good question. So the Engage app does not have to be connected to Wi-Fi if you're using your phone. Just being able to use your phone's data will be enough, or your phone's network. Obviously, the website will be a little bit different. You want to have Wi-Fi to be able to use it on a desktop. But if you're mobily using the app, you don't have to be connected to Wi-Fi. However, if you do have Wi-Fi, especially the VinScan feature, from my experience, it works a lot better and a lot quicker. So to generate that information.
Yep, thank you for that question. I've got a question for you, Edgar. And we kind of, for the folks that are out there listening and watching today, we use Engage every day. In fact, yesterday, and look for it. We're doing a walk around on the all-new 2020 Camry all-wheel drive. We literally were on Engage the whole 6 hours we were shooting the walk around. But what's the best usages for the Engage app versus the website? Edgar, can you explain the differences?
Yeah, so the Engage website, just kind of what I alluded to at the beginning. Really, it'll give you a lot of those downloadable sheets that you can, maybe, for example, you want to get the connected services applicability charts. That's the best way to do it on the website. That way, you can download those or copy those. Print those and put them on near your desk. Or really, you can sit down with the customer and, if they have any questions regarding our product or they want to see a video on something, you can sit down with your customer, at a desk and really just kind of go through those. And the app is more for, again, it's more mobile. So maybe the customer has a quick question, and, we don't want to be caught looking at the Monroney label. We want to be more, professional and, be able to get that information on our mobile site. It does look a lot more professional. So being able to give them that information on the vehicle that they're looking at on site is what that mobile function will be useful for.
Yeah, so the best way to describe it is if you want more detail, you want the ability to download and print off any documents, maybe go into a deeper dive, you would probably use the website. And if you needed a quick answer for a customer in your hand on your phone, you would use the app.
Correct.
Yeah, we've noticed that too. And just for everybody out there, and Ronnie Rinden had mentioned in the beginning, this is a phenomenal tool that Toyota spent a lot of resources on to give to all of us. And of course, we've had questions on how to navigate effectively. So that's why we're bringing you this webinar today. I don't see any other questions, Edgar. So if anybody has any last minute questions, please feel free to ask them in the Q&A section. And if not, I'm going to give it back to you, Edgar.
I
Awesome.
had a question that I typed in. Can the customer have access to Engage?
No, so the customer cannot have access to Engage. If just a random customer was to, or a random person, let's say, I don't want to say customer here, but if a random person was to just come across the Engage website, or excuse me, the Engage app in the App Store, again, they'd only have access to the top four tabs there. So no, this is not a customer facing tool. This is meant for our dealers to be able to access and get that information they need to be successful in learning about this product. So really, this is meant for Toyota and our Toyota partners. which would be the dealer. So any other questions out there? Maybe give it a few.
Yeah, I actually do. I do have a few more questions. And the question is kind of a two-parter here. How do I log into Engage? And if we don't have a Toyota Engage login, how do we get one?
Okay. So when you all you got to do is, let's say you're logging into the website here, go into Google, or, I think, if I want to understand, Google works best. So just type in Toyota Engage, and it'll bring you up to the Engage website where you can log in. So click on the official Toyota Engage website, and then you're going to be asked to log in, and that's where you're going to be using your dealer daily login. So again, if you do not have a dealer daily login, talk to your manager, and if maybe you need some more help there. If you have a dealer daily administrator, please talk to them. If none of those work, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll help you out, get you the information you need to log in. And if you're doing it on the app, when you download the app, if you scroll down to the bottom, and when you first open up the app, that's where you'll be able to see like a gray icon. Will show you it'll let you know that you haven't logged in, and then you can click on that and log in with the same exact login that you would use for the website.
All right, I don't see any other questions there in the queue, so I'll head it back to you, Edgar.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in. And I do want to, before we sign off here, I do want to let you know of upcoming webinar training that we're going to be hosting later this week on Thursday, May 14th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to be talking about the Highlander hybrid versus the competition. So please tune into that. It's going to be some great information for you. And again, hopefully this training was of value to you. And if you have any more questions regarding, today's training or anything else, feel free to contact us. Any of us, we're here to help you and your business. So with that, thank you all. Have a great rest of your day, and stay safe, Toyota.